This chapter from Yog Vashisht is called Enlightenment, Self-Realization.
Donc, c'est un chapitre de livre qui s'appelle l'éveil et la réalisation de soi.
Vashisht was the enlightened one, the wise one, the enlightened being who is speaking. His name is Vashisht.
Son nom, la personne qui parle est Vashisht, qui est l'éveil, celui qui est éveillé.
That out of which everything is created,
Ça qui est la source de tout ce qui est créé,
in which everything exists,
en qui tout existe,
and which permeates everything,
et qui infuse tout,
is the one complete and true reality.
c'est le seul entier, réalité complète entière.
Nothing is separate from it.
Et il n'y a aucun objet qui en est séparé.
It is the eternal self.
C'est le soi éternel.
For those who devote themselves to realizing this truth,
Et à ceux qui se dévouent pour réaliser cette vérité,
which is their own truth,
qui est leur propre vérité,
it is very close at hand.
c'est à portée de main.
For those who wish only for personal gain,
Pour ceux qui ne désirent que leur gain personnel
and care nothing about the essence of every soul,
et ne se soucient pas de l'essence de tout être,
the experience of this truth is very far.
l'expérience de cette vérité est très lointaine.
One who has a spiritual sense,
Celui qui a un sens spirituel,
a natural wish to know the source of all things,
et un désir naturel de connaître la source de toutes choses,
and a keen desire for the good of all,
et un désir aigu pour le bien de tous,
has the highest human accomplishment in their grasp,
ils ont à portée de main l'accomplissement la plus haute de l'être humain,
which is to become fully expanded in their awareness.
c'est de devenir complètement élargi dans sa conscience.
Realization of unity and oneness
La réalisation de l'être entier et l'unité
brings highest awareness, wisdom, and true peace.
amène la sagesse, la conscience la plus élevée et la vraie paix.
Great yogis pursue this realization ardently.
Les grands yogis ont poursuivi ardemment cette réalisation
Through the recognized yogic practices,
à travers les pratiques reconnues du yoga,
such as satsang and meditation, I may add.
comme le satsang et la méditation.
When the light of knowledge forever shines within self-realized yogis,
Et quand la lumière de la connaissance se brille intérieurement dans les yogis éveillés,
they stand out as beacons for all those of pure heart.
ils apparaissent comme des phares pour tous ceux qui ont le cœur pur.
The state of self-realization, which is enlightenment,
l'état de réalisation de soi qui est l'éveil
is the apex of human awareness.
est le zénith de l'expérience humaine et la conscience humaine.
It is the greatest possible achievement.
C'est l'achèvement le plus complet, le plus haut.
Sadly, most people are mesmerized
Et malheureusement, la plupart des gens sont dans l'illusion
and overwhelmingly impressed
et être trop impressionnés
by wealth, power, and superficial beauty.
par le pouvoir, la richesse et la beauté superficielle.
So I'll read that whole sentence again in one. Sadly, most people are mesmerized and overwhelmingly impressed by wealth, power, and superficial beauty.
La plupart des gens sont trop impressionnés et ont une illusion de la beauté superficielle, de la richesse et du pouvoir.
None of these qualities reflect the highest achievement of a human being.
Et aucune de ces qualités ne reflète le but le plus élevé d'un être humain.
The highest achievement, enlightenment,
La réalisation la plus haute, l'éveil,
is pure love, goodness, kindness, and wisdom.
et l'amour pur, la bonté et la sagesse.
So to answer Freddie's question, who is that who is aware? You can simply answer yourself by saying, it is me, meaning your own self. I'm not saying me here, saying you say to yourself, that is me. Everything is me. Everything is this me. And that's where Lise started the satsang. We can actually go beyond the perception of there being a separate me within my skin that has been somehow divided from all that which is on the outside of my skin. I know it appears like that. There is a self separate from yourself that looks through these eyes to a world separate from what I experience within. But this is not true. This is an assumption. This is an imagination. This is because of sensory perception and ego identification. In meditation, we practice observing sensory perception and not calling it true. Observing ego consciousness and not calling it true, which means not calling it you. You are the one who has no form. It's unimaginable that you have no form. And listen again to the first paragraph. It's so powerful. No need to translate, Freddie. Listen to this, all of you English speaking. That out of which everything is created, in which everything exists, and which permeates everything, is the one complete and true reality. This is a description of your true self. Not a self that is somehow held prisoner within this bag of skin, in a relationship of difference and separation with all that which exists external to the skin, and thereby in the sense of there being an inner and an external separate, we have an endless need to unite. And we unite, or we attempt to unite, as it's written here, being mesmerized or impressed by wealth, power, and superficial beauty. Love and freedom are being sought under the imagination of separation, division, duality. If we can see through this or beyond this, then we can know ourselves, the you that is ever present, Freddie. Call it awareness, call it consciousness. It takes on this mode, it takes on that mode. It never becomes anything. It is simply you. You are that out of which everything is created, in which everything exists, and which permeates everything. That is your true self. I know very well Freddie's question. I was constantly describing various aspects of the functioning, from the mind functioning, to the ego functioning, to the higher awareness functioning. I was constantly asking, who is that? My guru would give different answers, but ultimately, he frustrated the question. And I came to see that there's really only one answer. You are all of it. There's nowhere where you are not. You are pure, meaning you have not become anything. Rather, out of you, everything is created. A thought is created. There's not you and a thought in terms of there being two separate things. It's all you. Can you imagine? As Lise was saying, to see the world as a projection of you. Because it is. Every form is created out of you, pure consciousness, pure existence, pure bliss. And you are also within everything that exists. Because you permeate everything. And we have to ask, well, where is this I? What is myself? Is it a thought? Is it the higher thought? Is it the awareness thought? Is it? Ultimately, it's all you. You are indescribable to yourself. And yet we have to use the mind as a device or a technique, as a practice. You have to use that mind that you are, questioning, examining, inquiring. We have to look and see it. I am the seer, pure, free, ever present. I am the knower, pure, free, ever present. I am pure love, pure, free, ever present. How can you grasp this with the tool of division? You cannot. So we override these divisive mechanisms, and that is practiced in meditation. It's very simple, very pure. Can you find a place where you are not? You're always there, as yourself. many thoughts. One you who is observer, knower, seer. Pure awareness, pure consciousness, pure bliss. That you is not coming and going with the thoughts. And we build an amazingly beneficial power that can sit and truly observe this and not be mesmerized, as it said in that scripture. Such a good word. To be so pulled into this ego self that is of birth, of personality of gain and loss, of greater and lesser, and all those opposites that come from the consciousness of division. And when you realize that, you are at peace. I know it sounds paradoxical, and maybe that is the perfect way for the intellect to be released from its sensory perception, from its logical, dualistic standpoint. It is paradoxical to say we must inquire, we must examine, we must ask the inner questions, as Freddie and Lise rose today. But ultimately, these questions, when examined, simply lead us back to ourself. That needs no description because it has no location, no quality. It is simply free from duality, from a sense of being bound. How do you explain freedom from bondage? How do we explain freedom from duality? It is like, how do you explain after you have eaten and you are now free from hunger? But in this process of asking, we become free from the hunger of labeling ourselves here and not there, or there and like this. This quality, not that quality. This thing, not that thing. Great, not small. Small, not great. Able, not able. Become free of needing to describe yourself in that dualistic and thereby ultimately dissatisfying. And you realize, I am free. And then it extends, I am formless. I am everywhere. I am love. I am ever present. I am Amaram, indestructible, eternal. And I am Madhuram, at peace. Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham, Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham, Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham, Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham. I'll let you sit a little longer in your own space. So beautiful, always to be with all of you. Take care.